Creativity is not coming up with a great idea. The key to creativity is solving the right problem. Here's what Albert Einstein had to say about his approach to problem solving when he was asked, if some imminent disaster threatened the world and you had 1 hour in which you knew you could save it, how would you spend your time? Einstein replied, I would spend the first 55 minutes identifying the problem and the last 5 minutes solving it. For the formulation of a problem is often far more essential than its solution, which may be merely a matter of mathematical or experimental skill. Most people believe that creativity is coming up with a great idea. Not so. The key to creativity is solving the right problem. The fact is, it doesn't do any good to generate ideas for solving the wrong problem. We've been taught that the initial impression of the problem is the right one. We have a good reason for this. School already sets up the problem for us. 2 + 2 = 4. What is the capital of Poland? Warsaw. But to increase your likelihood of success, it's crucial to challenge your initial impression of what you think is the problem. Here's an example. In 1980, the conventional wisdom was that the cause of a heart attack was cholesterol buildup in an artery of the heart. The thinking was that the buildup would progress over time until it completely blocked blood flow through the artery and caused a heart attack. When a heart attack occurred, doctors believed that the only treatment was to reduce the patient's oxygen requirements by reducing their heart rate and controlling their blood pressure with medication, while also aggressively treating any complications. That was until a breakthrough study examined autopsies of a multitude of heart attack victims. The study revealed that it was not just plaque that caused the arteries to close and patients to die. In fact, less than 50% of the blockage was due to the plaque. Instead, the plaque had become unstable and ruptured or fissured. When this happened, it exposed the cholesterol core in the plaque to the blood in the artery. The body's natural response is to form a blood clot over the plaque and seal the rupture. As a result, it was the clot that caused the sudden and complete occlusion of the artery. A blood clot caused the heart attack. Game changer. Plaque in the heart was part of the problem, but for years the medical field accepted it as the core issue because they didn't stop to question their collective understanding. Doctors were focused on fixing the immediate problems with their heart attack patients, so they weren't looking further to determine what they were missing. Sound familiar? Now, when a heart attack victim reaches the hospital, the primary focus is to save heart muscle by administering a clotbuster medication or by stenting the artery. Stents are small tubes that form a passageway through the blood clot. As a result, dramatically more heart attack patients not only survive, but are spared life-changing complications. Your problem doesn't have to be as dire as a heart attack to benefit from deeper exploration. Identifying the real problem will always lead to more fruitful solutions. So how do you find the real problem? Ask lots of questions. But these just aren't any kinds of questions. These are creative questions. You see, the language you use to describe a problem is going to dictate the kinds of solutions you generate. For example, we don't have enough money. Good or bad question? Answer, bad question. In fact, it's a statement. When you hear that statement, your brain says, okay, we don't have any money, decision made, move on. Let's try a different approach. How might we raise the money for this project? Or how might we reduce the cost of this project? Good and creative questions. Questions framed in this way provoke your mind to search for solutions. They tell your brain, let's go find some answers. And because we're using the word might, these can be any answers. We haven't made any decisions yet. Look for options. When you're redefining the problem, you want questions that open up your thinking. So use these phrases to begin your creative questions. How might? How to? What might be all the ways to? In what ways might I? When cardiologists, heart surgeons, and researchers were investigating heart attacks, they might have asked questions like, how might we reduce the number of deaths from heart attacks? What might be all of the factors contributing to a heart attack? How might we reduce the recovery time for heart attack victims? Give it a try. Next time you need to solve a tough problem, back up a step. Don't immediately accept your initial impression of the problem as the real problem. Just as you generate creative ideas for solving a problem using brainstorming, you can also brainstorm ways to redefine a problem. Use these guidelines to generate creative questions. Defer judgment, strive for quantity, seek wild and unusual questions, combine and build in other questions. When you're facing a tough situation, try this exercise. Write down at least 15 different ways to restate your problem. Then select the question that describes the main obstacle keeping you from your goal. Only then begin generating ideas to solve your problem. Coming up with over 15 creative questions should take only about 5 to 10 minutes. It's time well spent, guaranteed. The problem we see is the problem we solve. Invest the time identifying the true problem and generate ideas only after you've clearly identified the best problem. The time you spend identifying the real problem prevents you from generating ideas that are off target and action plans that have no traction. And remember, to get ahead of the herd, get creative.